Let us watch Soylent Lady. Interestingly, she misspells Soylent here. This is Soylent, not Soylent. But she is talking about Soylent, so let's take a look.
p.m. on May the 11th of 2021.
Hold on, I think I need to turn her up.
And I keep hearing or reading people talking about Soylent Green. And I'm thinking, what is Soylent Green? Because
Okay, for those who don't know, I guess I should preface this. Soylent Green is a movie from 1973. Had to Google the date there. Spoilers for Soylent Green. Is Charlton Heston in this? Takes place in the year 2022. Yeah, Charlton Heston is the main guy. It's a dystopian thriller film starring Charlton Heston and among other people. How do I put this? It's a dystopian film where the twist is that the main food source of society, Soylent Green, is people. Spoilers. Soylent Green is people! They're feeding people to people without their knowledge. So, that's what this is about.
I have never heard of it before, except for a few weeks ago when somebody would comment about it. So I looked up Soylent Green. I did. It was a movie, is what it was. Let me flip this around, you all. It was a movie, and it's, I'm sure there's some of you who know about it. Do you know about it? Hello. Hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello from my heart to yours. Have you all heard about the Soylent Green?
She has a very interesting cadence and way of speaking, don't you think?
I've never heard of it, but it's a movie.
Matt Pat says the WALL-E movie does that. Why? There's nothing in the movie that indicates that they're eating people.
It's a movie. It was based in Charlton Heston. So this is...
It was based in Charlton Heston? I didn't know that a person could be the location for a film.
From Wikipedia.
Is it like an Osmosis Jones thing? Charlton Heston is the body in which the entire movie takes place. Blackwing Hecty says, oh, it's her. Logic discovered her a lot. Okay.
In the year...
I only know about this person because Altered Rin filled me in. That rhymed.
Oh my gosh, in the year of 2022? You've got to be kidding, you all.
Yeah, they'll put future dates in movies, and then someday, assuming the world doesn't end or humans don't cease existing and we're on the same calendar, then that date will eventually happen. Like Back to the Future 2 takes place in October 21st, 2015? October 2015, I don't remember. And then, eventually, that day came, and it went. The original Blade Runner, I forget when that takes place exactly, but I think we're either pretty close or already past when that took place. Maybe it was the 2040s, so it might not be here quite yet. Bicentennial Man, I think, started around the 2010s or something like that. The movie Click had stuff in the future that took place since then now. Like, that happens. Movies will, or books or any media, will talk about the future, and then that date eventually comes, because time moves forward. Blade Runner took place in 2019. Okay, good to know. So we're past it. Tea with Goblin says, Hannah, help me make a decision. Do I go with the blue wizard shirt or the pretty skull dress? Ooh, I'm gonna go with wizard shirt. Overthought says, Pharaoh, let my people eat other people. Mike Mack says, this is why I hate predictive programming. Yeah, it leads people to really dumb conclusions, quicker than they normally would. Andrew Batella says, The Simpsons had a future episode where by 2010 there was a memorial to the last tree ever. That means any trees standing are fake. Ah, yes, or as I like to call them, the silica pillars. That's not a reference anyone's gonna get. That's a reference to an obscure conspiracy theory video that we haven't even covered on this channel. Why would I reference that? Blackwing Hecate says, remember the eugenics wars of the late 90s? Yeah, and that dang Khan guy.
You've watched it a
Khan Noonien Singh.
few times. I'm not going to watch it. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to watch it. Oh my gosh, this was written, it is a 1973 American ecological dystopia thriller film with Charlton Heston, and it's loosely based on the 1966 science fiction novel Make Room, whatever that's about. Police procedural, sci-fi genre, investigation, dystopian future, the dying oceans, year-round humidity due to greenhouse effect, resulting in the suffering from pollution, poverty, overpopulation, euthanasia, depleted resources. Well, this received a Nebula Award. Hello, Apple Brooks. You all. I just found that out. It's horrific. But why did they choose the year 2022?
Because that was about 50 years in the future from when the thing was made. Usually when you do some sort of science fiction, you pick somewhere, you know, if you're doing near future, maybe you do 15, 20 years. If you're doing sort of medium future, maybe 30 years. Back to the Future 2 did 30 years, but that was for a symmetry thing because the first movie went back in time 30 years. So the second movie, they went forward in time 30 years. Blade Runner went like 40 years or so. Some movies will go very far into the future to show that it's like completely different and not something you can relate to. Just depends. So they picked about 50 years, considering even at the time in the 70s we knew about climate change. And environmentalism was a big thing in the 70s and continued to be. Luckily, environmentalism has become sort of mainstream since then. But the 70s was when you had a lot of that stuff coming up. Hole in the ozone layer, pitch-in campaigns, don't destroy the rainforest, etc., etc., etc. So that was a topic that got brought up. Plus, not to mention, environmental disaster movies, or disaster movies in general, were very popular in the 70s, too. You see The Towering Inferno, Poseidon Adventure, basically stuff where the environment is hurting people. Disaster porn movies. These were popular at the time, and you could argue that some of the environmental disaster stuff in Soylent Green is a takeoff of that, but on a global scale. Earthquake, yeah, there were a lot of environmental movies like that, or rather, environmental disaster movies.
Why was it based by the year 2022?
Oh, the thing I went off on a whole tangent. Why is it based in 2022? They wanted, roughly 50 years in the future. Because that's far enough that, it seems a bit off, so you're not totally related to what's going on, but it's close enough that people watching the movie in their 20s or teens, even in their 30s, could conceivably live to see the time period that the movie is depicting.
Look when this was made, back in 1973, and it was based off a 1966 sci-fi thriller. Yes. Oh, so they've
These are horns. Yeah, I got these on Amazon.
Pixelated me? Well, I'm not going to give them permission to pixelate me. You don't have permission to pixelate me.
She thinks she's being pixelated intentionally, not that it's just a bad connection.
So I would like for you to kindly unpixelate me. If you are pixelating me, please stop it, because you don't have my permission to do that to me at all. I do not want any pixelation of me done. Okay, that's what I'd like to say. No pixelation, because I'm serious. I'm trying to do a live YouTube video, and I'm not going to have pixelation done on me. So if you are trying to do it, I kindly ask you to please stop pixelating me. Okay? Yeah.
Mike Max 321 says, so last year in Manhattan during the summer with all the store being closed, either for the quarantine, people losing their job, or BLM protests, there was a power outage for like a few hours, and when it came back, people were saying that Manhattan was becoming Escape from New York. I kid you not. Do they remember the plot of Escape from New York? Because in Escape from New York has become a federal prison. It's not just a shitty place, it's a literal prison. Marcus Drake with 150 bits, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, and Andrew Batella says, I want to speak to the internet manager. Hello, you've reached the internet manager. Can I help you? Oh, everything is garbage. It's the internet. Get used to it. Cool Cat says, if Twitch ever starts shitting itself, just say that you don't have permission to drop frames. Yeah, it's like she's the sovereign citizen of the internet. I do not consent to being pixelated. This buffering is against my rights. Biomancer says, she must be running low on internet gas. Her pipes are getting clogged with rotten internet. That'll happen. They get congested. The internet is a series of tubes. She's Karening the pixels. How else are you going to get these underpaid pixels to do their job?
Stop pixelating me. Okay. So, it's based off a 1973, and they jump forward to the year 2022 due to overpopulation, pollution, and a climate catastrophe. It has caused a severe worldwide shortages of food, water, and housing. There are 40 million people in New York City alone, where only the city's elite can afford spacious apartment, clean water, natural food, even horrendously high prices. I'm not going to read the rest of it, but you can go to Wikipedia and you can read that, okay? And they controlled the supply of food to half the world, and they sowed soil and lentils, is what they sowed. Homonymous, I can't say that word. Right there, let's just point to this. Homino.
God, now I gotta go look it up because it's bothering me, but I also can't read the pixelated. Mike Max says, what will happen if she sees the Pixel movie from Adam Sandler? It's okay. No one's seen that movie. It's a myth. Homonymous? Homonymous. Interesting. I actually don't know the word homonymous. Let's see what that means. Homonymous. It means they're homonyms, words that have different meanings but are pronounced the same. Oh, okay. Homonymous, as in they're homonyms. Makes sense.
This H brand of wafers, including Soylent Red and Soylent Yellow, and their latest production was far more nutritious. Soylent Green, advertised as coming from the ocean plankton, but it was in short supply. So they had bottlenecks, hungry masses, regularly not were removed from the streets, means of police vehicles. They scooped up the rioters with large shovels and they dumped them in the vehicle's container. So, yes. Lord have mercy. Am I pixelated anymore? Let's see. We shall wait one moment. I'm still pixelated. Oh, that's lovely. I'm breaking up. I'm breaking up. You know why? Because this is important what I had to say. Would you want me to end this video and try to come back on? Because I don't want to.
Get a better internet connection, or go somewhere with a better internet connection, or use a landline instead of your Wi-Fi. Logarth says, lady, you're already cracked.
I don't want to. It is a human being that's doing it. It is.
No, it's not.
And if it's pixelated times 3. Is my voice okay? That's what I want to know. Hello?
I also like the idea of some secret government organization that's trying to stop her, and they have the power to pixelate her stream, but they don't have the power to stop the stream. So at best, they can impotently annoy her by pixelating her, but that's the extent of their powers. Mike Mack says, it's almost like a post-apocalypse movie with humanity fighting for food and survival. You don't say.
Is my voice coming through? Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to stay on. My voice is coming through.
It's just heavily
That's
compressed.
all that matters. That's all that matters, you all. That's it. So in this movie, Soylent Green, it ends up that they find out that the human corpses are being converted into Soylent Green, is what they're doing. The people, yeah, it is the people. Okay, the audio is good. That's all that matters.
I find that interesting as the twist, because it's not, how do I put this? It's gross, but if humanity was in a survival situation and we're all basically the global equivalent of the Donner Party, just trying to survive and not starve, I could see that being a thing and not having a moral issue with it, as long as they were doing it in a way that didn't get people sick from, like, prions and, like, stuff that you get from, like, Kuru. You know what I mean? Because, like, it's not like it's a plan that can go on forever, right? You can't eternally eat each other. That's not how, like, conservation of energy works, you know? At some point, you all die anyway. It's a stopgap to keep some people fed so you're not dying as often. So you have fewer fatalities. It's a stopgap until you can hopefully come up with a solution to the food shortage, right? I don't know. That's just my thought, I guess. If I found out, like, oh, we're secretly feeding people to people, you shouldn't do it in secret, but I also don't see an issue with it if humanity was starving. I don't know. Pyromancer says, if I was in charge of screwing with her connection, I'd overlay a pentagram. Mike Max says, so it means she's illegal to see because she's being pixelated. CBC Be Mad says, okay guys, pull the large pixelization lever.
Matters as long as the audio is good. Okay, that's it. That's all right. So the people are converted into that. Yeah. So they are the Soylent Green. There's something else.
The Donner Party chose to ignore food from indigenous people. They chased off those that went to help them. They didn't have to do what they did. Is that true? That's disgusting. Tea with Goblin says, Hannah, if you were to be consensually cannibalized, how would you like to be served? A decadent roast? A delicate shoterie board? Rotisserie, Hannah? You know, I'll leave that up to whoever's eating me. I don't have very good taste, but maybe I could, you know, taste good in the dead times. Maybe someone with actual taste can cook me.
Else about that, okay? Fast forward into the future right here and now.
I think I've said this before though. I'm the Wagyu beef of people. Do you know how striated like all my fat in between the muscles must be? I'm telling you. I'd make a mean human steak.
See, this is another reason they don't want you seeing me and seeing what I show, because if you see it, then you'll see it for your own eyes. Yeah, so they've got this thing called Soylent Complete. It is a bottled drink.
Oh no, she's talking about the okay. So for those who don't know, Soylent is also a real product now. Soylent is a real company that makes products. They got their name from Soylent Green as a joke. But it's a company that makes like meal replacement shakes and powders and stuff like that. So if you're like on a diet, or if you're just trying to get protein and stuff without having a full meal, you can buy Soylent. Baja drinks these regularly. I've seen them. I might have even tasted one at some point. I'm not sure, though. So they make different flavors. They This one's chocolate. But the point is, at least some of them must be vegan because Baja drinks them. They're not people. It's just a joke. The name's a joke. But it's a real product. It's not people.
Okay, it is a bottled drink. It goes for $33 a bottle. Okay, 33. Yeah, that's okay.
I don't think it typically, because Baja's bought it before and it's not that expensive. Mike Mack says, that reminds me when I found out Acme is a real company. Yeah, I guess it is. In fairness, maybe that's specific things from their site, but like, I've seen it at the store before and I don't remember it being that expensive. Yeah, like this is an 8 flavor variety pack. So this comes with a pack of 8 and it's $34. So I don't know what the unit price is on that. Divide $34.99 by 8. That's how much it is, I guess. So they're a little pricey, but you know, they're not $33 per bottle. They're $33 for like 8 of them.
Okay, you go ahead and
under $5. Sure.
Pixelate me. Because you know what? My message is still going to get out one way or another. All you're doing, if you're pixelating me, you're solidifying the truth that I'm saying. You are solidifying it in concrete is what you're doing. So you pixelate away. Just go ahead and pixelate away because you're not going to stop the truth from coming out. You're not. Okay, so it's Soylent Complete. Okay, they have Soylent Stacked. They have a game called Soylent Green, but they have Soylent Drink Milk. No, look, they have Soylent Drink Mint at Soylent.com. It's $42 a bottle.
No, it's not.
Okay, $42 a bottle. It's nutrition.
Again, she's probably looking at a pack of like 12 or something and not realizing it.
I don't care if I'm pixelated. As long as you can hear my voice. So Soylent Review, it says, is this the future of food?
Hey, kitty.
It says, know your DNA. April 29th, 2021. It's reader supported, is what it is. It says, does Soylent increase your estrogen? It's a protein, but it's a myth that has circulated that soy contains phytoestrogens that may contribute to your hormone.
Oh, duh. I guess I should have pointed out part of the name. It's obviously a reference to Soylent Green, but also the drink is soy-based, so it's soy. It's a play on words. Logarth says she's probably looking at a big protein powder container of it. Possibly. Mike Mack says, fix your antenna, lady, or get better internet. It's that simple. Aluminum Gal says, in parts of Brazil where disposal of the dead by cannibalism is still something done, they have the best saying, live long enough to make your children really have to chew. And Overthought says, and I bet she thinks her grandchildren don't call her because the Illuminati is stopping them. That must be it.
Balance. Okay, look. So October the 31st, 2015, why you shouldn't panic about human DNA in veggie dogs. Oh, there's human DNA in veggie dogs. You like to eat hot dogs, vegetarian hot dogs? Well, it's got human DNA in it. Thank you, Mr.
What? Hold on, I gotta look this up. Human DNA in veggie dogs? Did they find human DNA in veggie dogs? Hot dog, blah, blah, blah. I just need a succinct thing. Come on. Oh, gotcha. Human DNA found in hot dogs was classified as a hygiene issue because human hair or skin dander got into the product during the manufacturing process. So it was in, oh my gosh. The Clear Labs hot dog study found human DNA samples in 2% of the 345 hot dogs and sausages. 2/3 of that human DNA was found in vegetarian hot dogs, and it was hair and dander. So basically just bad sanitation at the plant. And they're getting hair into the dogs or whatever. It's a gross, but it makes sense. They're not feeding you dead people. A worker just wasn't wearing a hairnet or something and it got in the food.
Sasquatch, you just made my evening. I knew I could count on you. Absolutely. I could count on you, Mr. Sasquatch.
No. It wasn't 2% of the hot dog. They tested like 350 different brands of hot dogs, and 2% of those brands, they found human DNA in the sample.
It's wonderful.
It wasn't 2% of the volume of the hot dog. It was they found any trace of human DNA.
It doesn't matter. It does not matter to you how I look, because you are looking at the inside of me.
Oops.
And that is that the LO.
Sorry, I meant to link. Someone asked for the link to this video, and I accidentally pasted the wrong thing.
VE on the inside. Thank you so much. Yes. So there's an article on October the 31st of 2015. And it's from Vox, VOX.
I swear to God, I need to start doing like hot tub streams, but like a cold tub, because it gets so hot in here. I'm just gonna bring a tub in here and just start doing tub streams, but in front of the computer.
It says, a note on human DNA in food. We aren't talking about a Soylent Green. It's people scenario here. Instead, it's probably a speck of somebody's skin or something. Yes. So we got these people here. So I got the veggie dogs with a DNA in it, but you should not worry about it. You should not. It says Soylent.com, the story of Soylent. Because Soylent started as an experiment, iteration and innovation is in our DNA. Soylent went from a mixable powder to a suite of ready-to-drink meals. Yes, absolutely. Yes. March the 23rd.
Get it, blow up kiddie pool? You know, I would. I don't want it to pop and to ruin my floor. So no.
You have to do is listen to my voice, because Mr. Sasquatch says I look beautiful anyway. It does.
Sasquatch says you're beautiful? Does Sasquatch think I'm beautiful? I care about Sasquatch's opinion.
Doesn't matter how pixelated I am.
If the skunk ape loves me, that's the only thing that really matters. Lou, where are you? I can hear you. It's warm in here.
That's wonderful. We can hear the voice. It says March the 23rd of 2019.
Would a cannibal develop a human version of mad cow if they eat too much human? Is that what Kuru is? Hold on. Kuru, I know, is a disease you can get from eating people. Kuru is a rare disease caused by an infectious prion found in contaminated human brain tissue. I believe Kuru is the human version of mad cow, basically. Kuru is found amongst people from New Guinea who practice a form of cannibalism in which they eat the brains of dead people as part of a funeral ritual. The practice stopped in 1960, but cases of Kuru were reported for many years afterward because the disease has a long incubation period. The incubation period is the time it takes for symptoms to appear after being exposed to the agent that causes the disease. Kuru causes brain and nervous system damages, or changes rather, similar to Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. Similar diseases appear in cows as bovine spongiform encephalopathy, also called mad cow. Yeah, Kuru is human mad cow. How did I know about that? I know a lot. I know a little about a lot of things. That's my superpower.
Soylent CEO.
You don't think she's pixelated? She's the devil? Yep, she just looks like this in real life. She's horrifying. She's horrifyingly compressed in the real world.
Says people are starting to embrace genetic.
Why cows eating cow brain? That had to do with farmers as a filler mixing in cow meat, like leftover trash cow meat that they weren't using from the slaughterhouse in with the cow food, so it would be cheaper to raise them. So they'd put like the organ meats and different stuff that usually doesn't get sold to the consumer and mix it in with the other cow feed, and it got cows really sick, which is why that's now illegal in many places. Rightfully so. Kind of gross anyway, also to be like, here you go, cows. Eat some cows so we can eat you. Overthought says, Sasquatch does not hate. He just wants to dance to the Bee Gees. That XY girl says, but what is a prion, Hannah? That's a good point. I could look it up. I'm sure Baha would know off the top of her head. Prion diseases, or transmissible spongiform encephalopathies, are a family of rare progressive neurodegenerative disorders that affect both humans and animals, that are distinguished by long incubation periods, characteristic spongiform changes associated with neuronal loss, and a failure to induce inflammatory response. The causative agents of TSEs are believed to be prions. The term prions refers to abnormal pathogenic agents that are transmissible and are able to induce abnormal folding of specific normal cellular proteins called prion proteins that are found most abundantly in the brain. The functions of these normal prion proteins are still not completely understood. The abnormal folding of the prion proteins leads to brain damage and the characteristic signs and symptoms of the disease. Prion diseases are usually rapidly progressive and always fatal. Yeah, Baha would have to explain this one more to us. I don't get it. It makes the proteins fold weird. But I can't specifically explain to you what that means.
Genetic engineering. Isn't that nice of them? Produced with genetic engineering, the label reads, Soylent uses 6 ingredients. Is what it uses. 6 ingredients. Absolutely it does. The CEO of Silicon Valley, favorite meal replacement startup, shares why he thinks the tide is shifting on genetic engineering. That's so wonderful. Yes, Dragon, it's my subject matter. They're pixelating me, but that's okay.
No one is pixelating you.
That should tell you what I'm telling is something that they don't want to let out, okay? They say that we are beginning to embrace food made with genetic engineering.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with genetic engineering food. Sky Comet Fallen says she watched the Ring videotape. People that do that don't show up right on cameras. She'll also, die in 7 days. I haven't seen the Ring movies, but I get that reference.
That's what they said. They said it is nearly, the GMOs that they use are nearly 4 years old. Yes. And now the pendulum. Yes, they are swinging that pendulum. It is swinging in favor of science, said the CEO. Yes. And Dunkin' Donuts coffee.
Baha's brother texted me and said, Sasquatch says you look pretty today. Thank you, Broha Blast. That XY girl with $5 says money for getting a biology fact. Thank you.
It says America may run on Dunkin' Donuts coffee, but Silicon Valley runs on something else. Soylent. A meal in a bottle that's meant to contain all the nutrients that you'd normally find in your breakfast and lunch. It says each container, get this, is printed with a small stamp on the side resembling a strand of DNA. Produced with genetic engineering. Apple Brooks, thank you so much. Yeah. Genetic engineering. It says they use 6...
Anadon Earhart says misfolded proteins are ones that have reached a lower energy molecular state, like how random items tend to rest on the floor and not jump up to stay on a shelf. Prions have the ability to do this to other similar proteins. They're very stable, so the body has a hard time breaking them down and they just build up. Okay, that's a good basic explanation. Thank you.
Ingredients, and it falls under the label GMO, genetically modified organism. They're just telling you it is a genetically modified organism. Those ingredients include its soy protein blend and a sweetener two kinds of oils or fats along with corn
I see the troll in chat. Sure.
fiber and some of its flavoring. Yes, we can go outside and eat grass. I don't want to eat that. I don't want to drink that. I'm probably going to get myself in trouble. Yes, that's why I'm pixelated. That's okay. It says, meet the startup that thinks DNA can predict your best diet. Yeah, isn't that wonderful? Yes, it's wonderful. Yes.
Oh, well, there's the racism. You always got to ruin it with the racism. You can't even, like, let it slow burn. No fun.
Yeah.
I hate when the trolls aren't even creative and they just say, like, offensive shit. Like, come on, do something clever. Don't just say offensive things. Say something that deeply hurts my soul, you know?
Am I still pixelated?
No, you're fine.
I'm going to think it's mighty funny if I'm still pixelated. I really am. Absolutely. Yeah, well, that's okay. They can't change me. No, that's all right. Yes. Oh, my gosh. Robin, we don't want to be. We do not. Absolutely don't. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, great. So, look, this is... we have that movie, and everything comes to a head in 2022. Yeah. Well, Apple Brooks, you never had that. Mr. Sasquatch, yes, 2 pints of plutonium coming right your way. I've never had that. Well, I'm not going to have that. I'm not going to drink it. Now,
Then don't drink it.
this may be very, very healthy for some people, and I would encourage you, if you are one of those people who like healthy drinks like this, GMO, I would encourage you to drink it. If you want to try it, you go ahead and try it. I'm not going
Logard says this brain genius probably eats fast food and processed foods, just saying.
to tell you
Who
not.
doesn't? Processed foods are delicious.
I'm sure it's very nutritious because it's $33 for a bottle.
It's $33 for like 8 bottles. Learn to read.
Look, you got chocolate. That's $21 for 11 ounce. You can have that. Look like they sell it at Walmart. And you can get this for $42. It's more expensive than wine, but it's...
No, it's not. This is not the price for one bottle. Mike Max says, I hope she doesn't eat the orange carrot because those were man-made by crossbreeding like many other plants we have today. Yeah, most of the plants we have today have been modified by humans in some way through artificial selection. That's incredibly common. It's one of the reasons we've been very successful agriculturally as a species, because we've been able to harness the power of artificial selection to make crops that are more nutritious, that are better tasting, that yield more per square foot. Like, it's really, really great.
It's better for you. Yes, it is better for you than a glass of wine or a bottle of wine. I will take the bottle of wine, you all. I will. Yeah. But you know, we got health food stores and all this, and we can buy organic foods. We can, and it's nothing wrong with buying organic food. There's nothing wrong with wanting to make healthier choices in your life. So if you're one who wants to drink Soylent drink, you go right ahead. You can purchase it for a pretty penny. It might cost you a whole day's wages. It really would at the look of this price. But this one's green. But this movie, they ran out.
That would honestly suck if your whole day's wages were like $30. I know some people do that, and you know, my heart goes out to you, but boy, that would suck. Zozo Horror Show says, I have caught a few of Gina's live streams. I keep trying to bait her into looking at 24-hour Earth cams with the spider web over them because I think she'll think it's aliens. I didn't even know that was a thing. Morok Ben Eoth says, most apples we have are made through grafting different types of apple tree branches to different types of trees. Also corn.
I didn't know that. Soylent Green, and they had to use the corpses. Yes, they did. That's why we drink water. I've got water right here in a
Oh, she drinks out of mason jars. You know what I don't... This is something that is completely my fault, and, like, I'm not saying it's anyone else that's wrong for doing it, but one of my pet peeves is the what's the word? In the last 5 or 10 years, the mason jar glasses and stuff being everywhere. I don't know. I just think mason jars are ugly, and they're fine for actually storing stuff if you're actually using them for, like, preserves or whatever you happen to be preserving in the jars. But you know what I'm talking about. Cups or water bottles or whatever that look like mason jars but aren't real mason jars. They annoy me. They're not nice looking. They're not quirky. You're not a hipster. They're just ugly. They're just ugly. Again, nothing against you if you have those. It's a taste thing. It's just a specific pet peeve I have, and I don't know why. It's completely unreasonable on my part. It doesn't matter. But they annoy me.
In a glass is what I've got. Aloha Food Forest. Yes. This is the first time I've ever looked this up. Hit this like button, you all. This is the first time I've ever looked this movie up. And I read about it. But yeah.
Are you being good, kitty?
It is very eerie.
Color by Emmy. Hot take, Hannah dropping some truth on the mason jar crowd.
That it's 2022. And then look, this is their book. Let's click into it. The year 20, look, in the year 2022, people something, I can't read it, people are all the same. They'll do
I think that says people are still the same. They'll do anything to get what they need, and they need Soylent Green.
anything to get what they
What did you
want.
miss? This lady thinks the movie Soylent Green is predictive programming.
Or anything to get what they need, and they need Soylent Green. Why do they need Soylent Green? Is it the only food that they can eat?
I don't know, watch the movie before you make the video. Yeah, Soylent Green is a main food source of human beings in that universe. Go watch the damn movie.
Because they got GMOs in their body also?
I don't think they mention GMOs in Soylent Green.
Could be. It really could be. Richard Minnick, the zombie apocalypse. You know there's a reason why they have the zombie apocalypse, and they have the zombie apocalypse run or whatever it is, and they have the zombie games, and you can go and you can kill the zombies. I was told you kill the zombies by stabbing them straight there in their, right there in their brain, and that's where I guess the pineal gland is at. You stab.
What? Why are we talking about zombies now? Does she think zombies are real?
Them right there in the brain to kill the zombies. Yes, that's what you got to do. No, Penny, we don't want to watch that movie. No.
You don't even want to watch it? Then why are you making a video?
I don't even think somebody could pay me to watch it, because once you view an image, it's forever embedded within your mind unless you start losing your memory. But then you'll still have your short-term memory, maybe. I don't know, you all. This is wild.
Short-term memory is less... What? Short-term memory is more temporary than your long-term memory. What?
No, Apple, you're not. Zombies, Zara. You're walking in here. We're talking about this movie. Somebody had wrote in the comment section, I hope we're not living in the year of Soylent Green. After I did a video today, and I went over here and I looked it up in Wikipedia. and it's a movie from 1973.
Why do I get a bad feeling that next year all the people who are really into QAnon are going to start trying to add this to the conspiracy theory, and they're going to be like, oh, it's 2022, just like this thing, and they'll point to some random Q drop that says random stuff like they all do, and they'll be like, see, this is pointing to it, and they'll start being like, they're secretly putting children in the food, and we don't know about it, and they're going to like try and boycott certain brands of food that are probably brands that'll be associated with left-leaning politics, like Ben and Jerry's or something. And they'll be like, they're feeding us children! You guys all owe me a gift sub if that turns out to be right next year. Every single one of you. She promotes a movie she won't even watch, right? That's what I'm saying. How can she even have this discussion if she hasn't seen the movie? It's so weird. Kitty, careful. Don't push buttons.
About an ecological dystopian. It's an ecological dystopian thriller
Kitty.
film.
No!
With Charlton Heston, and it's based off of 66. There's greenhouse effect, pollution, poverty, overpopulation, euthanasia.
Yeah, they're talking about anxieties that were present at the time, right? We've known about the idea of global warming or climate change, climate disaster, for a really long time. That's not new. We've just been in denial about it for decades. Color by Emmy says, if they do start the Soylent Green conspiracies, that's more Hot Pockets for you. True. Andrew Patella says, just look for adrenochrome in the ingredients list, duh. Bardlock Moses says, this is why Ben & Jerry's is so good. Honestly, yeah, if it turned out Ben & Jerry's was so good. Ben & Jerry's is the only ice cream I buy. Unless, like, you know, if I was out somewhere, I guess, you know, at like an ice cream place, sure. But in terms of, like, buying a carton of ice cream to eat at home, Ben & Jerry's is the only one I'll get. Tea with Goblin says, the film Soylent Green was made in 1973. If you add up all those numbers, it makes 2020 was the year it all started with the Biden election. Cannibal socialist takeover confirmed. I think he cracked the code. Magic Lad says, ice cream for children or made of children? Porque no los dos. Bardlock Moses says, cool house in Los Angeles is the best. Is that like an ice cream place? Ooh, like The Stuff. I love the movie The Stuff. Can't get enough. Oh, wow, I'm really flat. Can't get enough of the stuff. The Stuff. Does anyone remember The Stuff? Or just me and this other person in chat?
They supplying food to half the world, and it's lentils and it's soy.
The Stuff was sort of the Blob, but the Blob was food. Like, they started selling it as an ice cream competitor, but someone found... It's an 80s effects-driven monster movie where an asteroid, like, crashes on Earth, and then this homeless guy finds a pool of this white fluid, and he, like, tries it because he's weird. And he's like, this is delicious. So he starts putting it in cartons and selling it, and it becomes, like, the #1 new food fad in America. And then it starts killing people because it's alien and it's eating you. Pyromancer says, feeding children food made of children enhances the power of adrenochrome.
And they got Soylent Red, Soylent Yellow. But then they had Soylent Green that came from the plankton, but the ocean was in the supply was like going down. So they used human corpse. Yeah. Okay, no more. Look, I ruined it. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. A cornucopian. I sure hope that the earth is being cleansed of the cabal, because do you realize the ramifications if it is not being cleansed? Yeah. There's going to be terrible
The Stuff is free to watch on Tubi. Good to know. I think it's also on Shudder, maybe?
Vacations. And it's not looking too good right now. Okay, it's not.
Is Cabal on the bingo card? We should probably check the bingo sheet. I don't even know if she's said anything that would be on there. I guess I'll say population control is a motive, maybe. It's a bit of a stretch, but I'll call it, considering the content of, like, the Soylent Green movie. Cat the Satanist says bingo. Okay, let me see your bingo card. Send me a link. I'll check it out. I think that's probably it. Now, I'm going to say spurious symbology is evidence too. And sure, word salad. Cat the Satanist, though, has the first bingo claim. So let's take a look. Gay agenda. Expert has ridiculous title. Ancient wisdom. Illuminati. And forced sterilization. Yep! Congratulations. You got it. I'll write your name down on my Word document. And let me know whenever your sub runs out. Or if you want me to gift it to someone else at some point. For the record, these are the people that are on my list currently. If you forgot you had a bingo win. KRR Goss, Purple Nickel, Will Kale, Rant, Ran the Fool, Photos with AG, and Thez72744473. You all have subs that are not redeemed. Mike Mack says, for me, the scariest and most powerful zombie virus is the Executor virus or the Cameron virus from Resident Evil Executor, a Japanese-only game where the virus was basically the thing. Now that's scary as hell. Yeah. Very close, Fresno, but no cigar.
It's not looking too good. Yeah. The Matrix, they liquefy and feed it to... Oh, I don't remember that. Yeah, you're praying, otherwise we're done. Like that.
Okay, does she say anything else? We're only halfway through. I'm already very over this.
So it was free.
Wow, look at her Bible. That is a very used Bible.
It's on there and it says 1 per customer. Look at that. Right in there. And then you open it up, and this part didn't get burnt. But look at this. This is where the pages are missing. The wickedness of mankind. And then it says, God saw the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was on evil.
It's always interesting to me when I look at other people's Bibles, the parts that they highlight. Like one of the things she highlighted here is, but Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. Like my Bible here, if you look at my highlights, I'll even go to the same section, the Noah story. 1 second, let me find the correct place. What chapter is that? Oh god, is this a different copy? Where are my highlights and stuff in this? I know in previous, maybe it's in one of my other Bibles that I had highlighted. But like in this section, I do not have, but Noah found the grace in the eyes of the Lord highlighted. Like, the things that interest me just aren't that. Like, the things I would highlight are things like this. Then the Lord said, my spirit will not contend with humans forever, for they are mortal. Their days will be 120 years. Like, that's interesting to me, the idea that God says, all right, arbitrarily, I'm now deciding that humans can only live to be 120 years old. And this, the Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, where the sons of God went to the daughters of humans and had children by them. They were the heroes of old, men of renown. So they're talking about, like, half human, half angel hybrid people. Like, that's what I highlight, not, but Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord.
Continually, and it repented the Lord that he had made man on earth, and it grieved him at his heart. That's kind of sad. And then it talks about Noah. So look.
Asamar are biblically canon.
Here. The
kind of, yeah.
wickedness of mankind, the pages are literally ripped out. And then it starts back up.
Am I stealing conspiracy theorists from you? Yep.
What's this say?
Don't show me any interesting people you don't want me to steal from you. Them's the rules.
I can't read it like this. I gotta zoom up on it, you all, because I can't see it. Let me zoom up on it. The curtains of the tabernacle. That's where it starts back up. Is they literally, they went missing, just like that. And I thought, I want that because fossil, 273 million, 65% off at easydna.com. Coupon code. All right, y'all, that's enough. I'm not gonna look at this no more, you all. It's kind of making me nauseous at my stomach. Okay, it is. Looking at that, and then this right here is making me nauseous. Why would they even want to have a book like that, a movie like that?
What do you mean, why? It's a dystopian fiction movie. Are you asking why movies have conflict and villains? Do I need to explain the concept of a narrative arc to you? And why we have antagonists that are a challenge for the protagonist? For entertainment. To tell stories and impart messages on people. Do I think she would projectile vomit if she saw furry porn? Either that or become incredibly aroused. There's no middle ground.
Yeah. You have Bibles too. Yeah, I've got some. Bring the balance back. We can bring the balance back on the inside of here. We can. Yeah, it is. It's a warning. It is. Powerful beings. We are very powerful beings in this body. We really are. Our spirits are very powerful within here. They are. We are a light in a dark world, a world that's growing dark, and some people's lights are getting very dim. Garden. Yeah, grow your food if you can. If the insects don't get it, you know, they like to eat too, and so do the voles. The little voles like to eat the sweet potatoes in the ground, but the potatoes in the ground, and then they like to eat some nice tender roots of some nice plants. Yeah, grow your gardens. Absolutely. If it's happening in a third world country, absolutely, it's going to happen here. You can't stay all right. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Jalapeno. Yes, portals.
She's the perfect person to watch for this show because no matter where you jump in the video, she's saying something weird. Jalapeno. Yes, portals.
Is it here? Your ex... Mr. Sasquatch, your ex-wife had big feet. Giant feet. Oh, the bloody nightmare. That's not very nice. So you
Show
talk like
feet.
people's feet. Some people do have big feet, and she
Siri, show feet.
just couldn't help it. She could not. She wouldn't need those snowshoes to walk in the snow because her feet would be nice and big. See, you can run all over that snow if you got big giant feet like that to spread out. See, that's no problem. That's an asset in a marriage, having those feet that big. So you should have been really happy to have a wife who had that big of a feet, because they're wonderful in the snow. Absolutely.
I can't add anything to that.
Yes, plants can hear you.
Why is it every time I unpause, she says another thing that's crazier than the last thing? Why?
Yes, you all hit that like button. I am going to go. I am. And I just want to thank you all for being on here. And please, right inside here is where it starts, to strengthen yourself inside of here. And you do it with love, Love, and you will become spiritually strong if you go within, tune out the negativity, but be aware of what's happening and prepare on the inside. Yes, good night to every single one of you all. Thank you, Demetrius, Apple Brooks, O. Ryder, and anyone else who came on here, another moderator. Yes, and May 30th, you got a birthday coming up, Val. That's right. Oh, I think you're all amazing, too. You chose to be here on this earth at this period of time.
They chose to be on this earth? I did not get that memo. Opt out.
You did.
I'll come back in like 200 years, okay? Can I get a rain check on existing?
Oh my goodness. Nothing is by chance. Although it says, as fish are caught.
Can I come back in a body that makes me more comfortable too? That'd be excellent.
In a cruel net, so men are trapped by evil times that fall unexpectedly upon them. But then time and chance happen to us all, and then it's the beginning of that, and then fish are caught. But all is in divine synchronicity instead of coincidence. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Love you all. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
47.
She's excellent. We gotta cover her more often. Gina Maria with 83,000 subs. She's more entertaining than me. I can't even be mad. It's true.